Yo everybody, I've got here a Gardiner SL-X 35 pole. Now this is an all carbon fibre pole except for the plasy bits and the clamps of course. And it is a true 35 foot pole, and you can get a 40 foot reach from this pole. And the good thing is it's pretty light. It's 2,100 grams, that's just over 2 kilos, right? For a 35 foot pole it's really good. And the latest innovation with Gardiner's poles is that they've got what they call smart clamps on the 7-section pole. I think they've introduced it into most of their range, and what that means is that these clamps have got a small shim in between the actual clamp body there and these tumblers here, and they act as a sacrifice or self-lubricating, just like in a car's bearings on the crankshaft. And these tend to wear out first here, saving the wear from the actual clamp here, and so they last a lot longer. Also, what we find is that they're to an extent self-adjusting, and where the clamps clamp onto the pole the most, that's where most of the wear comes in. So you can see that one moving there, and that's what tends to happen. But after a while, with a little bit of adjustment, you can see the adjustment there, these will still clamp firmly with adjustment onto the worn parts, and then will still smoothly extend and clamp at the right place at the other end of the section. So there's smart clamps for you. They're really pretty good. What else have we got? When we extend the pole here, we've got the red section which tells you where to stop, and also you've got some tape which will actually stop it for you. You can see that there's a very small yellow bit there, and that is the tape they've put on there. This is where you clamp the pole normally for a full extension of that section. Now if you want to split your pole, you just undo these adjusters here, and you can pull the clamp out. You see, you can pull the section out there, and then you can use the lower sections and save a lot of weight. Okay, what else have we got? We've got the connectors here. This little red piece is just to stop the these quick connectors from uncoupling, and that should normally go here in this spot. Okay, and what we've got the Gardiner's what's this called? Gooseneck, not the Gooseneck, the
angle adapter.
Angle adapter, thanks. And we've got the quick lock as well, which you can take the brushes off very quickly, as you can see there. Just one press button, and that's about it. Here we have the Gardiner Swivel. This is part of the kit you can get. You can get several angle adapters, but this one happens to have a fairly long reach and also a swivel feature, which a lot of window cleaners are actually getting into now. And one of the reasons for that is that you can reach into the corners from odd angles, as you can see there. I don't have to stand in front of the glass anymore. It saves one hell of a lot of effort. And when you can't reach something, say I couldn't get over there, with a fixed brush you can't quite get into the corners properly, but this one, it's almost intuitive. If I can't go over there, you see, I can still get into the corners there, like that. Say I couldn't walk over there. I've actually done down the side of conservatories like this, where you can't actually get down the side of the conservatory. So all in all, it's a really good piece of kit to have. You see how you can just twist the pole and just get in corners of those frames. It's absolutely fantastic, and I love the way you can actually run across the sills with this as well. Although a sill brush would be better, of course. Can we see what it's like up top? I'll extend this now. Gardeners actually recommend you take the pole up until you see the red bit there. There's like a stop tape which will stop it, and that's the perfect place to actually clamp your pole. That works really well. It's a very nice light brush, and you can see the bump strip, that white strip around the top of the brush there. That helps when it bangs into things as well. Now, to demonstrate further how useful this can be, the swivel brush, See how that's actually staying there? Actually on the glass, even at distance. I can even reach right across this conservatory, like so, and the brush is still flat on the glass, even that one. Now if you're going to try and do this with a fixed brush, right, you'll find it really, really awkward. And I can even just do this, it flips over, and that is really, really easy. Okay, I've got a bit of leverage with the pole. You're going to feel the weight a little bit more, but once you get your technique right, it's totally unbelievable. You can just flick it back again, and I can still do the sills with it. It takes a bit of practice doing the sills because it tends to jackknife a bit. And that's the only criticism I've got with Gardiner's swivel neck here. And I'll explain that in just a second. What we've actually noticed, we like to come in here a little bit further. This pivot point here needs to be as close to these bristles as possible. Otherwise it tends to swing the brush rather than actually pivot it. But it's only a minor criticism, you can get used to this, but it's not quite as effective as a swivel that is right close to the actual brush itself. But all in all, very, very good. Like it, good quality system. Job done. Okay, what we've got here with the Gardiner's review, we've also got, if you want, the Gardiner's 10-inch carbon fibre gooseneck. You can get larger ones as well, of course, but this is the one that suits us a lot. Of course, you can actually extend it even more if you want different angles to this. What you'll find is that with this angle adapter, you can actually split it so that goes onto the gooseneck, and this just clips into the brush in just a few seconds. So that way you can get other angles which we need in some of our work, such as that. Now when that goes on the end of there, you see, if you can't quite get the correct angle from the ground, certain situations you can just adjust it and the brush will, instead of being tipped like that, will be actually flat on the glass then. That's if you can't actually move backwards or forwards into the building rather, like that. So that's another thing. Now, it's an extremely light gooseneck. See how it works on the conservatory roof. It's due for another clean. Water. Got an automatic system here. When you say water, it just comes on its own, you know. It just works a treat, nice and light. I haven't tried this with a swivel brush on though. I think it'd be a bit too much for this length. We don't use this sort of gooseneck for very many situations. What we do if we didn't need this gooseneck, we just take it off, and again we revert back to the swivel neck here, as you can see, or the standard gooseneck which just slots in. Okay, water off. It's a brilliant system, I'm going to buy one of those. Good equipment, highly recommended. Haven't got many problems with it. Gardiner's equipment, Gardiner SLX 35 review. Job done.